Most of the Prime Minister's visits, when we've seen him go abroad, has been a lot of visual spectacle attached to that. And even this one, quite given to the optics there. We're going to cut right back to the Tang dynasty. Welcome accorded to the Indian Prime Minister. But let me quickly slip into breaking news that we're just getting in. And the latest coming in from Afghanistan right now. Ahmad Zia Massoud, the former Vice President of Afghanistan, has told local media that he believes that the attack which took place at a hotel last night in Kabul was meant to target the Indian ambassador, whom they had mistakenly thought was at the gathering. The Indian ambassador to Afghanistan was scheduled to attend a concert along with other top diplomats. Well, that is the latest that we're getting in.
Four Indians were killed in an attack on a guest house in Kabul. This guest house, Park Palace, is believed to be popular with the Indian community. So was this attack targeted at the Indians? To answer some of these questions, I have the Afghan ambassador in India, Mohammad Abdali. Many thanks for talking with us, sir. Sir, does it appear to be an attack that targeted Indians?
Well, first of all, let me express on behalf of the people and government of Afghanistan our deepest condolences over the loss of innocent people, including 4 Indians. Well, this is not the first incident. We've had a number of incidents recently and, of course, over the last years and months. But definitely, India is a country, a partner of Afghanistan that have come under attack, as we've been under attack in the last many years. And we have no doubt that these attacks will never shake our resolve and will make sure that we stay committed and have firm resolve to confront the enemy that we both face as common.
So does it appear to be an attack on the Indian community, because a lot of Indians do stay in this guest house and this area is thronged by a lot of foreigners?
Well, it's not only the Indians there, and there are some other nationals involved as well. Therefore, it's too early to conclude that this was a target on only the Indians. We have lost Afghans and some other nationals as well. So it's not at this stage that we can put it that way, but our intelligence agencies will work on this finding as to see the nature and the way and the place where it was initiated from.
So there are reports that the Indian envoy was supposed to attend a cultural function that was being organized in this guest house. Are these reports true?
Well, I spoke to the Indian ambassador, myself, a couple of times. He's fine. He's all right. That's what I can tell at this point. So the incident took place last night, and there were a number of people there. But the good thing is that we protected the lives of 3 other Indians there as well. Which was the result of a quick reaction force that the Afghan government has, which was there on the spot in no time. So I'm glad that we stopped a bigger damage to the lives of people, including Indians.
All right, so the latest and disturbing news coming in that, and there is a theory that goes on to suggest that that the target of the attack was the Indian ambassador, who was mistakenly thought to be at the gathering at that particular hotel which was attacked in Kabul. I want to bring in Dr. Manoj Joshi, strategic affairs expert. He's in the studio with us. Dr. Joshi, you know, earlier on in the last at least couple of months, we have seen a concerted attack on Indians, the Indian embassy and other officials of India. Now, it is a worrying factor.
Certainly, and I think, you know, if you've seen past attacks on the Indian embassy, the ISI has been involved in this. The Pakistanis have been involved in this. It's the Pakistanis, along with the Haqqani network, which works with the Pakistanis. They have the capability of mounting attacks in Kabul. Maybe it may not be too far-fetched to assume that this is somehow connected with the Prime Minister's visit to China. Because if you had managed a massacre there, along with an Indian ambassador, you can imagine what the consequences would have been, what the mood in the country would have been. Instead of looking at this successful visit or the beginnings of what I think will be a very successful visit, we would all be mourning a huge tragedy. Of course, those 4 people who died, it is a tragedy. But what I'm trying to say, it would have been magnified had an Indian ambassador been assassinated out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is linked, because normally, often, you know, the Taliban has the capacity anytime to mount an attack in Kabul. Okay, but they lie
you're saying
low.
The timing is suspect. The timing is suspect. All right, let's bring in our strategic affairs editor, Gaurav Sawant. He's joining us from the newsroom. You know, Gaurav, highly disturbing, and we've seen that trend over the last couple of months, concertedly attacking Indians and Indian diplomats where Kabul and Afghanistan is concerned. We have Dr. Joshi in the studio, and he's saying the timing suspect here, because it could, and you know, we don't want to get into conjecture, but it could tie in to the Prime Minister's visit to China.
Well, not just that, you know, you have at this point of time Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani's special envoy. His name is Ahmad Zia Masood, and he's categorically stating that India's ambassador to Afghanistan, Amar Sinha, was the target of this terror attack. He was supposed to be at this cultural event, Altaf Hussain concert, at that hotel, and that is where this terror attack took place. 3 terrorists were there. That's now confirmed, because Taliban initially was claiming that there was only 1 terrorist. Now it's confirmed there were 3 terrorists, and apart from that, 2 suicide vests have been diffused. So a bigger tragedy, a bigger disaster was averted. That's point 1. And point 2, the timing is absolutely crucial here, not just because the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in China just now, but this is completion of 1 year of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. If you recall, just when Narendra Modi took over as Prime Minister of India, there was an attack on the Indian mission in Herat. And that was a direct, and I had at that point of time interviewed then Afghanistan President Hamid Karzai, and he said Lashkar-e-Taiba was responsible for this. Lashkar-e-Taiba was sending a message to Indian Prime Minister, to the new government, that Indian interests are unsafe. And exactly 1 year after that, there's an attack that takes place where Afghan intelligence is of the opinion that Indian ambassador was the target.
You know, Gaurav, you've been speaking to the Ministry of External Affairs. Clearly, they're taking this very seriously, especially the kind of news and disturbing news that is emerging. Not to take away the 4 Indians who've died in this attack, but what are you picking up in terms of strategy?
Well, there is heightened security, no doubt. There was an intelligence alert. As far as Government of India is concerned, they are saying we are still waiting for more information, while Taliban has claimed responsibility for this attack. Now, Government of India sources say this could well be the Haqqani network, this could well be elements of the Quetta Shura, and they are trained, armed and launched by Pakistan government, ISI and the army. But they're still waiting for more information to filter in. When we are on timing, Manoj Joshi can bear me out. Dr. Joshi, you know, this is also the same time when Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Pakistan's Army Chief Raheel Sharif, they've led a big delegation to Afghanistan, where they claim Afghanistan's enemies are Pakistan's enemies, but the situation on ground does not actually bear that out. So the situation in Afghanistan is very precarious, and Pakistan's strategy of that strategic depth hasn't gone away completely.
Well, I think, you know, the issue also one must look at what's been happening recently is that China is getting interested in getting involved in Afghan affairs, because their Silk Route business, you know, which goes to Kazakhstan, etc., they want, they've been thinking about playing a role. A Taliban delegation had gone to China some time back. I wouldn't be surprised if this is, you know, and India and China are also discussing ways to stabilize Afghanistan, because it's in our mutual interest that we have a peaceful and stable Afghanistan. We have economic interest, developmental interest in Afghanistan. The Chinese also have invested money, I think, in a copper mine in Afghanistan. So India and China could in future be collaborating in stabilizing Afghanistan, and this is a move which, coming at this time, could have had very negative consequences, could have kind of cast a pall of distrust over the situation.
All right, gentlemen, Dr. Manoj Joshi and our Strategic Affairs Editor Gaurav Sawant, appreciate you joining us. We're going to keep tracking the story very closely. We're going to slip into